Good afternoon, vinyl community. How are you doing? It is your Vicar of Vinyl back with you once again. It's Friday, September 20th, end of the work week, which I'm super happy about. Had a busy week, so I'm glad this is winding down. I wanted to do another vinyl finds video because as I said in my last finds video, I have just a ton of material down at my feet here that I haven't cataloged and cleaned, so I'm getting through them, reviewing them, listening to them. I haven't cleaned them yet, and I haven't cataloged them yet, but I'll get to it. I know I will. So yeah, this is stuff that has been found over the last few months, I guess, or yeah, probably the last few months. So why don't I just get started here? It's going to be all over the map. First one, Deep Purple, Stormbringer, 1974. Let me get it out of the, I don't know why I don't, get these things ready and have them out of the plastic right away. Every single one of them below me that I'm going to show, the 5 of them, are all still in their plastic sleeves. Anyway, Stormbringer from 1974. This is the second record with the Mark III lineup of Deep Purple. So, meaning, Richie Blackmore is still on guitar, John Lord still on organ keys, and the Grady and Pace on drums. And on vocals, they have David Coverdale, the fairly unknown David Coverdale at this point. They only had the one album before this. I guess it was Burn? Yeah, Burn. That Coverdale debuted on. And this is the second one. I want to make sure of that. That was Burn, right? I don't want to, yeah, it was. As a kid, Deep Purple was one of those bands as a kid that I didn't have a ton of. I always enjoyed. I really believe me, as a drummer, as a young drummer, Ian Pace was one of those drummers that I personally think has been overlooked as a rock and roll drummer his whole career. Other than people who love Deep Purple, a lot of people don't even talk about Ian Pace. He's phenomenal. Just listen to all of Machine Head front to back, and any Deep Purple record of the Mark II lineup particularly, and the beginning of the Mark III. Perfect Strangers, another great record. Anyway, I think this is a really good record. I don't know if a lot of Purple fans agree with me. I think they would. Purple fans would. But there is the label. It is the Burbank, Warner Brothers Burbank Boulevard label. And it's got the Deep Purple circle there in black. So semi-customized. The beginning of customization for Purple, I guess. I really like this record. It's not Machine Head, but what is? Or in rock. But I'm ranking it in their top 5 or 6. I think it's fabulous. It's really good. And the thing is, there's a funkiness to it. You just listen to, well, not all of it, but when you listen to the first track, Stormbringer, is a barn burner. The second one, Love Don't Mean a Thing, there's a real groovy, bluesy, funky thing going on there. And You Can't Do It Right is another kind of funky tune. Holy Man, Hold On, The Gypsy, Soldier of Fortune, Ballad. It's a good one. This is a really solid record. So I'm glad I found it. It's in great shape. Well, great shape is the wrong term. It is, marginally in good shape. It's playable, sounds good. Second side has a warp to it, but it's playable. It goes all the way through, and it doesn't, anyway, it bothers me when I find out later. Anyway, great record by Deep Purple. Glad I found it. Glad I picked it up. Happy to add this to the Purple collection, the Perpendicular collection. All right. Pardon me, I need to cough. I'll turn away. Thank you. All right, where are we headed from here? Yep, Jazz from Hell, Frank Zappa. 1986. It's an instrumental album by Frank. You know, I'm not going to rank it among his best. I like it. I like it. It's a good listen. It's an interesting listen, put it that way. It's a real interesting listen. But, you know, we still got Chad Wackerman on drums, you know, Steve Vai on rhythm guitar, Frank on lead, Ray White rhythm, two guitars, yeah, Ray White, Tommy Mars on keys, Bobby Martin on keys, and Ed Mann percussion, Scott Thunes on bass. This is a really interesting listen. Jazz from Hell is like digital jazz from hell. It's there's samples, it's very mechanical sounding at times, but you know, Night School was a great starter. The last track, Jazz from Hell, I like too. G-Spot Tornado. What a ridiculous title for a song, but that's Frank. There we are on the old Black Capital Rainbow rimmed label. It's in great shape. That's the good news. It's in fantastic condition. I can't get it. Oh my goodness. Yeah, not among his top 10 or 15 or maybe even 20, but or 25. There's so many Zappa records, but it's an interesting listen. Give it a shot. It's gonna maybe take you 2 or 3 times, but yeah, I don't mind putting it on every now and again. I have it on CD, I believe, and that's when I was first listening to it. I never had this as a kid. I was, you know, buying the earlier Zappa records. Anyway, Zappa Jazz from Hell. Glad to add that to the collection. Now, this next one I love. XTC Skylarking. Again from 86. It's their 9th record. It's just an all-around fabulous record. You know, for me, I don't know if there's a really terrible there isn't a terrible XTC record. I'm a sucker for all things XTC. Andy Partridge's a great songwriter. It does come, so it comes on, you know, the Virgin, red label Virgin there, and then it does have the original inner as well. Yeah, I think Skylarking is a fabulous record. It's right up there among their very best. Top 3, maybe, I would say, of XTC records. Really happy I found it because I've been looking for it in good shape. I've come across it a couple of times and passed on the one I saw because it wasn't, you know, the jacket might have been a little bit, even here, this bugged me when I saw there's a sticky, anyway, I can take that off with a little bit of lighter fluid or something like that. But anyway, yeah, Skylarking, fantastic album from 1986 by XTC, Andy Partridge and the boys. Really pleased I found it. I'm getting, you know, I've got a number of XTC now. I don't have them all. I will eventually. I'm sure Brian at Embryonic Robot has them all. Because that collection is just outrageous. Love it. But I'd love to hear from him on what he thinks of this record, Skylarking, and any of you who love XTC. Anyway, good Lord, Skylarking from 86. Okay, moving on. This one I found on a trip to Kingston, Ontario. Zap Records there. Paid a little bit for a used record, $35. But Tom Waits' Wild Years, Frank's Wild Years, is another great Tom Waits record. There's a lot. Oh, let me take it out of the damn plastic. What am I doing? Why do I keep forgetting? It's in fabulous shape, and that's why I paid. The spine is perfect. That's why I paid $35 for this used gem, because it was in great shape. There's the there's the gatefold. Really good shape. And sorry, I'm banging into stuff all over the map. There's the island label. Frank's Wild Years, fantastic record. Really, really good Tom Waits records. Again, this is 87. I'm thinking Frank's Wild Years is definitely in the top 10, maybe top 8 or 7 for me of Tom Waits records. And there are a lot of them, so the ranking would be very difficult. Brian at Embryonic Robot, again, you just did an amazing ranking of all those Lou Reed records. Tom Waits would be a tricky one, another tricky ranking, but this one for me is definitely top 10, maybe top 8 or 7. Love this record. Okay. All right, going back into the jazz world again, and another Tone Poet I picked up. I have this already. I have the Blue Note 75th anniversary of Blue Note version of this. Blue Train, John Coltrane. I think it was 1958 it was released. Yeah, I'm going to take it out of there. Oh. But this is the Complete Masters series Tone Poet, which I'm really happy I found. Just what a phenomenal recording this is. Lee Morgan, trumpet, Curtis Fuller, trombone, John Coltrane, tenor sax, Kenny Drew on piano, Paul Chambers on bass, and the amazing Philly Joe Jones on drums. So let me go into so what they did on this Tone Poet, it's a double record, so the first, there's the Blue Note, there's the remastered original record, and the second one is all alternate takes, which is really interesting to listen to. Normally I'm not one for that, but when it comes to jazz, I don't know what it is. I like listening to the alternate takes quite a bit. So their, Tone Poet series has these great inside photographs of the gatefold, but here they added an amazing booklet. Oh, there's the hype sticker, Tone Poet hype sticker. Yeah, it was $70, but it was worth it, I think, anyway. So I'll give you a little of the booklet inside. This was released when 2022. So the story of Blue Train, and the recording of it. Just want to get a couple more pages here. Whoops. I think it's 9 pin. I won't go through them all, but I just love that shot of Coltrane there. And that's Curtis Fuller in the background. Just fantastic. And then the last back of the magnetic tapes with all the notes. And there's Curtis, Lee Morgan, Philly Joe Jones with a look at the dart in his mouth, sitting behind the drums, and Kenny Drew. Just a fantastic Complete Masters series Tone Poet. I'm really glad I picked this up. Yeah, so there you have it. There is another installment of Vinyl Finds. As the comeback kid, Vicar of Vinyl, is on his way back making videos. Thanks for watching, everybody. Vicar of Vinyl is out of here, and have a great weekend.